Bradbury, Public Works and Utilities Administrator.
In there, some members of the public and some environmentalists were saying that Morris Bridge might be not the best option next. Yet the city of Tampa is saying that as part of the way to restore the lower Hillsborough River, you think that is part of the plan, part of the best options?
Yes, I mean, we worked with SwiftMud staff back in 2006 and 2007 to develop a recovery strategy for the lower Hillsborough River, and went through that in detail for about a year and a half. And we developed 4 sources of water, starting with Sulphur Springs. Number 2 was Blue Sink, and number 3, Tampa Bypass Canal, which includes minimum flows for Palm River. So instead of having minimum flow there, we're going to move 11 cubic feet per second as part of this recovery strategy for the lower Hillsborough River. And then the 4th and final source is a last resort, if you will. We would tap the Morris Bridge sink.
And you were saying that there might not be enough drinking water to allow the Tampa Bypass Canal if more from the TBC were pumped to the lower Hillsborough River. Is that a concern to the city?
Actually, that was a concern of Tampa Bay Water, but it is a secondary concern in the city of Tampa as well, because we do pump raw water via the Harney Canal to the Hillsborough River Reservoir during times of drought.
I just spoke with the chair of the Hillsborough EPC, and she said that if the city of Tampa just bought more water from the regional reservoir and from the desal plant, then all this there wouldn't be a problem at all. Just pump more water from the TBC to the lower Hillsborough River, and that would be a solution.
Yeah, I mean that is an option to buy more water from Tampa Bay Water. What people don't take into account is as that reservoir and the Hillsborough River flow declines, it impacts water quality at the David Tippett plant. So you can only go so low to where you're in an emergency condition and you may have to shut down the David Tippett plant. And so we're trying to guard against that side of it for water supply and balance the recovery strategy with the lower Hillsborough River with that.
And my final question involves Blue Sink and this and the Morris Bridge sink. Is the city concerned that pumping at those 2 sinks could increase the likelihood of sinkholes or damaged wells in the area?
That we had used the Morris Bridge sink back in the 2000-2001 drought, where we pumped it for 60 days straight, and we did not see sinkholes develop in the area. So it's not a concern. However, if there were environmental impacts, obviously, we would cease the pumping immediately. And also, we anticipate working with EPC staff and SwiftMud staff to include safeguards in that permit to make sure that doesn't happen.
I think you mentioned Morris Bridge, but what about Blue Sink, which is in more of a residential area?
Yeah, Blue Sink, we actually met with the neighborhoods a couple of times in rather large public hearings, received their input, and based on the scientific data, it appears that the impacts will be very small, if any, in that area, and so we are proceeding with that project.
All right, thanks for your time.
All right.